Nebraska Nightly's Mackenzie Noble joins us in studio with advice on how to prepare for destructive hail. Mackenzie?
Thank you, Evan. We are heading straight into storm season here, and hail is no stranger to Nebraska. Hailstorms can strike fast and leave behind thousands in damage. Tonight, hear from experts on why hail forms and how to protect your property.
They don't just appear out of nowhere. Their size and strength depend on powerful forces in the atmosphere, forces that meteorologists are constantly watching. And when conditions line up just right, those icy balls can reach the ground much larger than expected.
And we can also look for changes in the wind speed and direction with height in the atmosphere, because those are days that support rotating updrafts, which tend to be more favorable to keep hail kind of in that hail growth zone for longer, so we can get larger hail.
When hailstones do reach the ground, one of the most common casualties is the car. In recent years, thinner sheet metal and higher auto repair demand have made hail damage even more noticeable and more expensive.
Many of the cars have such very thin sheet metal on them these days that we can do a lot of the repairs without requiring paint work. I know shops in Omaha are booked up for months, and we definitely are not. So,
as storm season continues, keeping an eye on the forecast and your vehicle could save you time, stress, and hundreds in repair costs.
Park your vehicle inside if possible.
I will say car covers don't help much. They're just entirely too thin. They just don't really help at all.
Nebraska is actually one of the few states included in Hail Alley. The Great Plains experience a lot of those strong updrafts I mentioned because we get warm, moist air from the south and cold, dry air from the north. But how big can hail really get? Let's take a look at the size scale. We start small with a P. This is around 1/4 inch in diameter. Next, a quarter, about 1 inch wide. Now between these two sizes is what is most common in Nebraska. That's what you're usually going to be seeing when we're going to be expecting hail. Moving on to the golf ball. This is measuring at about 1.75 inches. This is where things really start to get destructive. Now you should take precaution when there's any size of hail in the forecast, but this size of hail can break windows, windshields, and shingles. Lastly, we have a grapefruit, nearly 4 inches across. Just a couple days ago in Arlington, Nebraska, the largest piece of hail reported was about this size. Now imagine this falling from the sky at over 100 miles per hour. It's not just impressive, it's very destructive. And as we head into storm season, stay weather aware, because in Nebraska, when hail hits, it can hit hard.
Is just about here, like you just said, and one family in Eagle, Nebraska is keeping an autumn tradition alive one pumpkin at a time with the opening of their pumpkin patch this weekend. 1011's Mackenzie Noble has more on how Pearson's pumpkin patch is more than just your average pumpkin patch.
That's right, it's opening weekend for Pearson's Pumpkin Place, and although they may be the new patch on the block, the roots there run deep. The Pearson family has been working on this land since 1947. But since 2022, owner Alex Pearson has been turning it into a fall favorite for families in the region. Settled in the fields between Eagle and Palmyra, Nebraska, Pearson's Pumpkin Place is more than just a fall outing. It's a family legacy.
Yeah, this property has been under the family since 1947, and so I've taken under my control, and now we're turning it into a pumpkin patch. I don't know if Mom and Dad like that idea, but that's what we're rolling with.
What started as a family farm 3 generations ago is now a fall destination with everything from stationary paintball to mini pie flights. There's even an annual Pumpkin Spice Fest that will be celebrated this year on October 18th.
We expect a big crowd. We have lots of vendors, live music, everything pumpkin spice. The hashtag is it's going to be basic, so wide brim hats, lots of flannel. Come on out.
The Pearsons currently have 6 acres of growing pumpkins, where they produce approximately 40,000 pumpkins a year. But it's all part of a bigger mission, building family traditions.
Our mission out here is to build memories and experiences in nature that build family traditions, and in year 4 we're starting to see that.
The land may be decades old, but the offerings are fresh. Signature drinks for adults, ice cream that is exclusively sold at Pearson's, and 2 snack shacks named after Alex's young daughters, Gwen's Goodies and Rockin' Rubies. And although Pearson's Pumpkin Place has a lot going on, families say it's a welcoming change of pace from the bigger, busier patches.
Things aren't overly crowded. You know, you have to walk to each thing, so just having some space, being able to see the kids from a long distance, that's key to a lot of parents.
For Alex, the goal isn't just fun, it is the future.
Oh, this is legacy. This is a third generation farm. Keeping it under the family. Hopefully one day I can pass it on to my daughters and we can keep this thing rolling, but we're looking decades down the road and just keep this family farm alive.
Pearson's Pumpkin Place is open Wednesday through Sunday until the 2nd of November. Tickets are cheaper online, starting at just under $13 on weekdays and $15.95 on weekends. And children 2 and below receive
Nebraska Nightly's Mackenzie Noble takes us to East Campus.
At the Nebraska East Union Bowling Alley, students gather every week. The Bowling League is organized through SLICE, UNL's Student Leadership, Involvement, and Community Engagement Program. More and more students are finding activities that blend competition with social connection.
It builds relationship, it builds community, it fosters engagement. Then the other thing is that we've had some students who made friends that continued through their entire career because they met through Bowling League.
While some participants come for the competition, others use it as a stress reliever and something to look forward to. It becomes an alternative to screen time.
It's been absolutely awesome. It's just been really great getting to know people and also honestly further bowling skills. I mean, it's something you can use for the rest of your life.
Recreational leagues like this are becoming increasingly popular on college campuses. Students seek out more in-person engagement post-pandemic. With a semester-ending tournament, some bowlers are taking their game more seriously, and others are still there just for a good time.
Just the supportive energy from my teammates and just being able to have fun while doing it. They're seriously so supportive. And just being able to cheer for all of our wins, but also just the funny moments of getting 0.
And it's not just about the game. The league gives many students a sense of belonging, something university leaders are working to foster.
I think it's longevity. We have continued to do this and we fill up every year. The fact that we had to turn away teams because we fill up so fast, I think is a testament that students really enjoy it.
Whether it's to compete or just have some fun, UNL students show that bowling is more than just a game. It's about friendships and making memories along the way. This is a tradition that's been going on a long time here at UNL, and it's continuing to roll. So if you have some spare time, come on down and you'll have a ball. Reporting from the East Campus Bowling Alley, Mackenzie Noble, Nebraska Nightly.
A visit to the hospital for an appointment can be intimidating for some. It actually brought back a couple of veterans who never expected to see each other again. 1011's Mackenzie Noble has more on their reunion.
For some people, a hospital visit is routine. But for 2 veterans, an appointment this week brought back memories and a friendship, one that neither expected to find again. Mornings typically start the same at CHI Health's Heart Institute in Lincoln. Flags blowing, leaves shifting, and inside, Army veteran Nazario Wilcock is chatting with the nurses. He is here from Kansas City, looking for treatment for some heart issues. Nurse supervisor Dave Larson is a Gulf War veteran and makes a point to ask every patient who is a veteran when and where they served. But Thursday, during the appointment, when Nazario mentioned he served during the Gulf War and was saved by medevac, the conversation stopped.
It got to the point where talked about when I was being medevaced after my incident up there. Also, he just looks at me and he goes, "That was you?"
You guys kind of look like brothers.
This was not the first time Dave had taken care of Nazario. In 1991, during the Gulf War, Dave was a Navy corpsman treating injured soldiers in the field when he helped Nazario.
And I really have no clue what happened. Went towards Kuwait. It may as well have been a beehive, just everything going everywhere. His unit patched me up to where I was stable enough to transport. If it wasn't for his unit being there, I don't think I would have transported.
I told him this is surreal, kind of got a little emotional.
Yeah, I did.
Soldiers don't cry.
These days, Dave honors every veteran who comes through the Heart Institute's doors with a small token, a gold coin.
We all know probably what we signed up to do and how things turned out. And you know, you're just there for other people. And you've been there, and it's just a little thank you that we do. But.
And on Thursday, Nazario was the recipient.
So that little thank you means a lot to someone receiving that little thank you, because a little bit of recognition's nice. Because another veteran understands.
And this appointment, Nazario says, seems to be prescribed by a higher power.
God had a reason to send me here, and I think it was to find my friend, find my buddy. I've got his information. I'm not letting him out of my life again. Yeah. He saved my life. Thanks for my life, brother.
Both men say they plan to stay in touch, and this Veterans Day, they'll be celebrating not just survival, but friendship. Thank you both. Hello, I'm Mackenzie Noble, and today I'm going to be walking around the streets of the UNL campus to dive deeper into the secret life of the Huskers. What is the better pizza, Godfather's or Valentino's?
Valentino's. Yeah, it's the home team. You got to go Valentino's all the way. What do you mean? It's Nebraska. Yeah.
Valentino's. Okay, don't crucify me, Nebraska, but Godfather's. Godfather's.
Valentino's.
I know the people who own Valentino's, so I'm going to stick with Valentino's.
What is something that you collect, and why do you collect it?
Recently, I've been collecting a lot of lipsticks and chapsticks. I just can't stop buying them.
It's like if I get a bouquet of flowers, I like dry out the roses and I keep them.
I'm kind of like a minimalist, you know. I don't really keep, I don't really like to keep more than I really need.
And what is something that you can do that maybe other UNL students can't?
I can do the worm.
Really? Would you like to show us?
No, I literally can't touch my toes, so I don't. Maybe that's something.
Say I'm from California.
I can say that I've been to 48 states.
What two are you missing?
Hawaii and Alaska.
All right, now I'm here with Archer the dog. So Archer, deep question to start you off. What is the meaning of life?
Extra help before the school year even begins. 1011's Mackenzie Noble has more on how retired educators are making sure classrooms are stocked without putting the cost on teachers.
Starting out as a teacher can be overwhelming. Between lesson plans and decorating a classroom, many first-year teachers say the cost of supplies can add up fast. So, retired teachers around Lincoln stepped in to help. And one new teacher tells us that walking into a free supply room was exactly what she needed.
For first-year preschool teacher Nicole Halsey, building a classroom for the first time can be overwhelming and expensive.
It means a lot because I didn't have anything starting out with. So this is really great, just to help check some things off that list.
Nicole is one of dozens of teachers filling up on free supplies thanks to the Come and Get It event hosted by Lincoln Education Association retired teacher members.
We all are behind them and that we still know what they're going through, and we want to welcome them to our district and to ensure them to welcome them to the world of teaching too.
This event is essentially a free store stocked with everything from notebooks and glue sticks to books, toys, and decorations, and so much more.
A lot of kids wouldn't be able to bring a notebook to class, or they wouldn't, just various things. So I tried to provide those for them so we could get on with the business of class.
Dry erase markers, Post-it notes, Kleenex, items that usually come out of a teacher's paycheck are all here for the taking.
And then we would tell them what stuff they need. I'd say, that's a really great thing to have in the classroom. They go, I never thought about that.
For Nicole, the support means she can spend more time preparing for her students and a little less worrying about her budget.
Don't want to spend too much money, but we're always willing. Teachers are, though. They'll do the most for their kids.
This is the 5th year LEA retired teachers have hosted this event, making sure new educators can focus on what really matters, their students.
Organizers tell me they plan to grow this event every year, keeping classrooms stocked and lightening the load for Lincoln's teachers.
1011's Mackenzie Noble shows us how crews are restoring the piece of Husker history. She's live here in the studio tonight.
Yes, it's hard to miss and especially hard to ignore when the bells ring out. Mueller Tower has stood tall for nearly 75 years on UNL's city campus. Now it's getting some much needed work to preserve its look, its sound, and its legacy. Construction crews began work on the 84-foot tower, carefully removing each of its roughly 1,700 stones. They are replacing nearly 80 limestone blocks that have been damaged by decades of wind, rain, and freezing temperatures. The restoration will also add new stainless steel anchors, waterproofing, and a fresh coat of paint on the upper grillwork. A full transformation to make sure the tower stays safe and sound for future Huskers.
We determined that there was some water seepage that was getting behind the stone, cracking off pieces. It became a bit of a safety concern, and it's a campus and community staple. Being able to hear the sound of the carillon through campus, to mark the hours and the class changes and those times is just a significant effort.
Built in 1949, Mueller Tower was a gift from alumnus Ralph Mueller. The tower was also designed in the 40s by senior UNL architect student George Kuska. It used to house electronic bells, which was very advanced for its time and still chimes across campus today. The bells are currently paused while construction is ongoing. The work began May 19th, and project managers still are unsure exactly when the renovation is going to be done, but it's expected to be complete sometime this fall. And when it's finished, Mueller Tower will stand tall and sound just as sweet for years to come.
University Place and Lincoln are filled with color, music, and creativity today. The Lux Center for the Arts hosted their third Emerge LNK Mural and Street Festival earlier. 1011's Mackenzie Noble has more on how art brought people together.
Well, it's a full day of paint, music, and community pride. The festival has turned University Place into a living canvas, bringing artists, neighbors, and businesses together. Murals line the streets, live bands fill the air, and vendors bring local products. The Emerge LNK Festival is more than just a day of art, it's reshaping University Place.
I'll tell you, we're re-changing our neighborhood. We started this festival in 2021. We created 7 murals, and we created a tourist destination, out of nothing.
Each year, the festival adds permanent pieces to the neighborhood. And this year's theme, Past, Present, Future of the Uni Place Creative District. It's honoring both history and what is ahead.
You go to a small town, you often see a historical mural. So we wanted to do a little bit about the history of University Place. Most of our murals had not done that before.
One of these artists is muralist Margaret Kopskavecki, who traveled from Ithaca, New York to Lincoln for this festival. She was selected to create the present mural in the festival's Past, Present, and Future lineup. But because her assigned wall wasn't ready, Kopskavecki set up an interactive project instead, inviting community members to join her in painting a separate mural.
But muraling is a little bit different because it's very inherently interactive. When you step away as an artist, the viewer is still interacting with it, and there's that kind of long legacy of having a public art.
She says that she wants people to find connection to art through her mural.
I think we all have that inner artist in us, and I want people to be able to connect with that when they see the piece and feel represented.
Community members say that connection is what makes Emerge LNK so special.
It's just great to see everybody out here supporting the arts in whatever shape or form, whether it's music to the painting of the arts or homemade items.
Yeah. It's been very nice. We got a free scarf for potato here.
Right, yeah.
And while the murals are the lasting legacy, Shaw says the biggest impact might just be the joy of the moment.
I am most excited for you to come here, have some fun, dance a little bit to the music, make some art, and just celebrate, being alive.
The murals being painted today will remain long after the festival wraps up, leaving a lasting splash of color at University Place.
Gratitude takes on a whole new meaning for one Nebraska family. Just months after a horrific motorcycle crash nearly took his life, a Lincoln man is reflecting on the moments and the people that helped him survive. 1011's Mackenzie Noble has the story.
Across
crushed motorcycle, broken gear, and first responders rushing in. It was September 21st, 2024. This was the day everything changed for Joel Gustafson. Just a mile from home, a van turned in front of him.
I laid my motorcycle down and went underneath the van, and he drove over me.
He was rushed to Bryan Medical Trauma Center, unconscious, in shock, and bleeding badly.
He was pale. He was not breathing very well or not really supporting his airway at all, and he was tachycardic, so he was in a state of shock, and we knew that we had to act very quickly.
This is the operating room Joel was taken to. The nurses and surgeons did everything and more to stabilize him. Doctors discovering a ruptured spleen, collapsed lungs, broken bones, and a traumatic brain injury.
Now we know that his chance of survival was 40%, which is extremely low. But at that time, you just do everything you can to try to save that patient.
Joel spent almost 50 days in the hospital, later transported to a rehab facility for 5 weeks of intense therapy, before finally going home. This summer, Joel was well enough to witness 2 of his kids get married, and now has a grandkid on the way this May. Milestones that he once wasn't sure he would live to see.
Were my kids going to have their dad? Was my wife going to have her husband? And we all got lucky. We all got lucky.
Since June, Joel's been back at work full-time, relearning life with new limitations. Numbness in his arms, effects of brain injury, and a promise to his family. No more motorcycles.
The journey is hard. Really hard. And I don't think you're ever done with it.
This Thanksgiving, Joel and his family have a new sense of gratitude.
I'm just so lucky and thankful.
Reporting in Lincoln, Mackenzie Noble, 1011 News.
Came to People's City Mission for a full sit-down dining experience which brought hope to so many. It was all made possible by dozens of volunteers and community donations. 1011's Mackenzie Noble takes us to the table for a look at today's festivities.
The mission serves about $20 million worth of public support each year, and today that support looked a lot like family.
Inside the People's City Mission, hundreds are sharing a Thanksgiving meal most haven't had in years. Lincoln's only homeless shelter has hosted this holiday tradition for more than a decade, made possible by local donations and dozens of volunteers.
We just do what we can to kind of encourage them and help them feel better. A day like today is really critical because they get to celebrate Thanksgiving with the rest of the community.
Guests take their seats and check boxes for what they want, from turkey to pie to green bean casserole, just like a restaurant.
Some of them will try and go up in the line, and just like them realizing that they get to sit down and be served.
It's such a small thing that a lot of us are really used to, right? And they're not necessarily, and so it's cool to see their reaction.
The Cassidy family has been back volunteering every Thanksgiving for 6 years, watching their own kids grow into the role.
It's fun watching our kids too. They've been doing it for a long time, but they start every year a little bit nervous, and then by the end they don't need us at all, and they're just serving.
While the mission receives about $5 million in grants, most of its budget comes from community donations. Those who pulled up a seat to the table say the connection was easy to feel.
We haven't had Thanksgiving in about a year, so this means a lot to me and the family.
And even the youngest guests found something to be grateful for, and their favorite Thanksgiving food from the day.
Green bean casserole.
My favorite food was turkey. It's very hard to live here. You've been having a rough life.
For Pastor Tom Barber, today is about more than serving food. It's about serving hope.
I think anytime you can help lift someone's spirit, it helps them in terms of trying to get back on their feet.
And on a day meant for gratitude, many here say they're leaving full, in more ways than one.
People's City Mission says anyone can volunteer or donate, but even giving just a few hours makes a difference.
This is Nebraska Nightly.
Welcome to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Elena Tomish.
And I'm Peyton Polak.
Our top story tonight, a Nebraska Nightly exclusive. Imagine you just bought a new pickup truck only to find it stolen 2 weeks later. This is the nightmare for a Lincoln College student on Tuesday. The 2019 Ford F-150 was stolen in a North Lincoln neighborhood and used technology to find it. The tracking device found the truck in Omaha. The Ford dealer says the suspect drove over 100 miles per hour the entire drive from Lincoln to Omaha. The man that stole the vehicle left a trash bag full of clothes, food, his Medicaid card, and a bottle of Tabasco. Also inside, tools that were used to break in the vehicle. The owner left his key fob in the car. The tracking device led the owner to an Omaha neighborhood, and he's recovered the vehicle. We're currently checking with the authorities on if they've identified the suspect.
To break, every drop of blood counts, especially in the middle of what the Nebraska Community Blood Bank calls trauma season.
We've reported on the frequent calls for donations, but for one Nebraska family, donating blood is about more than just helping their community. It's also a way to remember a loved one. 1011's Mackenzie Noble has more on a special blood drive that is turning hurt into hope.
What began as a heartbreaking tragedy has grown into a tradition of healing. A local blood drive is honoring a young woman's legacy by helping save lives. This is a look at the 11th annual blood drive in memory of Alexis Calfee. She was 18 when she and her boyfriend Christopher Oberg were killed by a drunk driver in 2011. The years after her death, her family has organized the Alexis Project, an event encouraging the use of designated drivers and promoting blood donations. This year's drive falls during the summer, which is often called trauma season. This is when local hospitals face a surge in emergency cases and less blood donations. Nearly 1 in 4 trauma patients needs blood, and organizers say giving blood in Lexi's name is one powerful way to keep her spirit alive.
One of her last tweets was, "To all my Twitter lovers, don't worry, be happy. Everybody need to love everybody." She tweeted that out the night before she died. That would explain who she really is.
All the donors that are here are truly saving lives. It's amazing.
Alexis was no stranger to blood drives. She was in charge of the FFA blood drive at Palmyra High School. The drive runs today until 7 p.m. and tomorrow, July 2nd, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Bennett Elementary School. And for every unit of blood donated, a monetary donation will also be made that goes back to the community. This year's money will be going to the school to build a park for the preschoolers. The new FDA rules now expand donor eligibility to include people who may have been exposed to mad cow disease. Donors can sign up and learn more by visiting the Nebraska Community Blood Bank's website.